Hello, 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 friends. Welcome on in. It is so good to see all of you today. I hope you're having a fabulous, fabulous Tuesday. Time exists. I don't know what's happening, but it's so good to see you all. Welcome, welcome on in. Lumi, Kalua, and Robin. It's so good to have you here. Thank you for those follows, friends. Welcome, welcome to It Gets Better. It's so good to see all of you today. I hope you're having a good day, and I can't wait to hang out with you. Some low-key Stardew vibes, some chit-chats. It's good to see you. Let me say hello to everyone. Elvis, welcome on in. It's good to see you. Cherry, hello, hello, hello. Who else is here? Lumi, hi Lumi. Stardrop, hello. Dora, hello, hello, hello. Kalua, hello. You've got to run errands, but oh my god, of course, thank you for dropping by and saying hi. I appreciate that so very much. Robin, Monday? No, it's not Monday. Is it Monday? It's not Monday. It's Tuesday. It has to be Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. I streamed yesterday on Monday. It's Tuesday. I'm having a moment. It's Tuesday. Creativity, it's good to see you. Good luck working on your fanfic. Please enjoy watching me in the background, my friend. Rox Inky, hello. Rox, welcome in. It's good to see you. It is Tuesday, okay? I like confirming all of the Tuesday. Robin was the one who was mistaken. It is Tuesday, literally Tuesday. Zag, hello and welcome on in. Hello, all of my lovely pals, new and old. If you've never met me before, if you've never seen me here before, hello, my name is Atmos. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a queer variety streamer and content creator here on twitch.television and all over the internet. I play lots and lots of Stardew Valley. So we're going to be playing some Stardew Valley today. But I'm in my variety streamer era, so if you follow me over on my channel, you will get a little bit of variety. I know, unheard of and uncalled for, but that's a thing. But yeah, we're gonna be playing some Stardew, and it is school. I'm going back to university tomorrow. Tomorrow is my first day of my last year of university, which is like messing with my brain. And so I thought since we were doing back to school stuff, I would chat a little bit about, like, you know, my school experience, high school, for any folks who are younger, who are going into high school or are in high school, and also my university experience, anyone who's going into university, sort of how my queerness has played into my experience. I thought that would kind of be the chit chat we have today. Thought could be cool, kind of fun. I would love to hear sort of from all of you about your experiences. But before we get into anything, how are all of you doing? How has your day been? How has your weekend been? How was your Labor Day? I would love to know what everything is going on with you. It's so good to catch up and say hi to all you cuties. Also, if you would like to say hello to Leo. Oh, he's doing a little, like, he's getting a little comfy. And thank you for good lucks and first day good wishes. I appreciate that so much, friend. Cherry, you are ready for villager hunting, trying to get to Hazel, if not praying for a cute little sisterly villager. Fingers crossed for you. Also, Godric, hello. Thank you again. God sent me a lovely little birthday present. It was very, very sweet and thoughtful. I opened it and I almost cried. So that was fun. The conversation is going to be rough and maybe a little triggering for me. I'm going to head out right now, but I'm happy to stop by and say hi. Of course, Elvis, pop in, pop out, whatever is comfy for you. If at any point in the conversation gets uncomfy for you, you leave. That is totally fine by me. You do what's best for you. And it's been okay, just a little tired. You know what? Sometimes we a little sleepy. And Maggie, hello. Call it new love. It's good to see you. Hello. And Leo says hello. Rox, right? Leo is such a precious boy. He usually doesn't hang out with me, like, on my streams as much, but I don't know what it's been lately, but, like, he kind of usually around stream time settles in and sleeps, like, right there on my bed. I do wish he slept a little closer to camera, because I can only move my camera so far for him, but it's cute. He just exactly enjoy Atmos podcast. Close his ears, close his eyes, and listen. Skip school today, not motivated mentally. Honestly, very much a mood. I feel like my last year, I don't think I've ever skipped. No, I've skipped like a couple of university classes. High school, I skipped so much in my last year. Came more aware of my questioning later on. Sometimes wonder how it would have been different if I was more aware of questioning when it was in high school. It is because I was like out by the end of high school. I sort of came out through the process of high school, but like I have a friend who teaches grade 7 and 8. It's wild how different things are. Didn't mean to make you cry, but I appreciate it, friend. And Rox, you are a precious you're a cat parent of 7. Oh my god, that's so many. Shockingly woke up at a decent time today. Felt semi-productive at work. Dumb, gray, rainy day through the sapping. Oh no! Come here. Come hang out in the sun. It's sunny here. And yes, I did. I saw the Twitches ditching the hosting. I'm not too mad about it. I feel hopeful that something good will come next. But yes. But yeah, no, I'd love to hear about your days if y'all want to share. My day's been pretty chill. I did a little bit of running an errand, did a little bit of tidying, obviously made my bed, did a little tidying. I got some stuff in the mail. I got some cosplay supplies in the mail, and I started experimenting with them. I don't know if you'll be able to see this super well, but this is a little like filigree that I made for the costume that I'm making. Okay, do you want to, please, okay, ready? Focus. It's not gonna work. But anyways, it's made out of this thing called foam clay, where basically it's like moldable foam that you can kind of like put. So I got silicone molds. And like put the foam clay into there and then let it like dry. And so it's like bendy and flexible, but also you can like paint it and it's really lightweight. So I'm gonna like add these to a halo and make this sort of crown halo thing with a bunch of these cool filigree things. So that was really fun. I worked on that a little bit while I was lurking in some friends' streams. And that's about it. That's been my day. Very chill, very low key. I have dress rehearsal for the cosplay show that I'm doing later tonight, actually basically almost right after this stream. So my day is a little packed. My life is about to get busy, but I'm booked and blessed. Just learned how to use host option. It is a little frustrating for folks who like to host streams to support, but just, you know, being at streams is still super supportive. Didn't come out as a bi till my freshman year of high school. Didn't question my gender until senior year. Pandemic hit. I didn't think I could be non-binary since I'm femme presenting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is truly, I think also the pandemic has definitely like affected the way a lot of people's brains have started like thinking about themselves. I know a lot of people over the pandemic have like had a lot of time for introspection, especially when it comes to gender and sexuality. I know it's not gonna be the case for everyone, but I feel like having that like disconnect and that like time to kind of just be mostly alone is kind of really interesting. I think, you know, I think it's kind of fascinating. I'm very glad for a lot of people that it, even though we sort of had, you know, a global pandemic and there's not a lot of great things that came out of it because, you know, definitely rocky road. It's still really cool that like a lot of folks were able to take some good out of it. You know, I can't think of anything like specifically in my case, but I think it definitely, you know, that like time to just sit and think was definitely helpful for a lot of things, for sure. I think it also definitely changed, like, if you don't know, I'm in art school, and it definitely changed like the trajectory and like the plan for what I do in my art, for sure. I think that's the biggest place that I've seen that switch up. But it's interesting for folks to like also see, you know, that's it's just so interesting. Use the pandemic to explore myself both sexuality and gender-wise, gone from using he, him to he, they, and presenting more androgynously. Sexuality-wise, I've learned that I'm aromantic, demisexual, queer. You know, and I feel like, again, like there are just so many folks who have had a very similar, I mean, everyone's journey is unique, but a lot of folks have had a similar thing where they're like, oh yeah, I have this time to think about it. And I think there's so many factors that go into it. I think one of the things that's so interesting to me, you know, is that like there's so much information, and not all of it's like perfect, but there's so much information that's out there and available through social media that like is actually decently educational and good. Like Twitch, TikTok, like there's actually spaces out there where you can learn about gender and sexuality that aren't like actively like dangerous or awful, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like really like, it's kind of the perfect storm, I think, because I feel like when I was in high school, when I was sort of first coming out, I was mostly on Tumblr as my online space, and it was definitely an interesting space to be in online for sure. And Cherry, you went from she, her to she, they, to she, they, he, to now they, them. It's a journey. It's a process. And I like, you know what? Like, I think that's the cool thing is that like there's a lot of kids who are able to start that process and that journey a lot younger. But it's a journey and a process nonetheless. And it's you know, it's just a lot of younger kids are definitely able to come out earlier and have more resources and more community and spaces online, because I think, you know, there's always been spaces online for queer folks, but I think there's definitely a lot more of them just in general. There's a lot more of them, and the safety of them has definitely improved and increased. Because yeah, no, being like out on the internet on Tumblr was, you know, great, but also like I look back at some of the stuff that like I did and some of the interactions I had, and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, what was I doing? And what were the people I was interacting with? Like, what were people allowing me like to do? I was in some spaces that just weren't looking out for my best interests, if that makes sense. And I feel like there's a lot more spaces that are looking out for best interests. Pastel Madness, hello, welcome friend. Thank you for that pronouns check. If folks would like to drop pronouns in chat, I would love to know what pronouns people use. My pronouns are he, him, and I would love to know what pronouns y'all do use. Let me pause game for a second. Being baby queer on Tumblr it was wild. It was very wild. And God started coming out in high school when I went to a Catholic school. Couldn't find any other gays to even befriend, let alone date. Very much gay in theory, not practice, but then came out to a family and new friends, peeps. Then I started college. Definitely fair. I think, yeah, I surprising some folks. I started high school and I went to a performing arts high school. But I started high school like in the closet. I think I definitely, you know, grade 9, I knew I was gay and I knew I was queer, but I definitely I don't think I was ready. I don't think I was ready to like accept and discuss that. So I think it took me a while. It was this like very interesting process of like going from being, you know, questioning to being bisexual to being gay, and it took me some time, and it was definitely like, you know, a journey. But it was definitely a journey. And Creativia, rant away. I mean, always be wary of possible triggering like topics, because there's no way to give trigger warnings in Twitch chat, so just be wary of that. But share. We're here to chat. As I know, I'm always very chatting focused, but it gets better. Streams are definitely super duper even more focused on chatting. So please do share away. And Rox, for me, it was almost post-pandemic. I already knew I was ace, but took a lot of time to think about gender and specific labels. My journey was on Twitter, but I love how here I can be called by my chosen name. That's, I think, one of the coolest things for me is I have had a lot of folks who are part of my like community. And Twitter, not Twitter, but Twitch specifically has been a place for them to really like discover new names and new pronouns, because there is, you know, all these people who don't really know you, who you're able to sort of be like, hey, guess what? Here are my pronouns. Here is my name. Use this. And it's, you know, you can test things out. You can take new pronouns for a spin, and there's a lot of really amazing communities. You know, you have the It Gets Better channel, but there's also a bunch of, you know, the ambassadors who stream here who have their own streams, and other folks out there who are just like amazing humans. And it's just so cool that the internet, like the internet always has been, but I think even more so, there is just more room for people to explore on the internet than I think there has ever been before, which I think is very exciting to me. Because I know for sure, like I definitely like. I went to an arts high school, and so when I wanted to start coming out like IRL, one, if you have been to my streams before, my mom watches my streams. My mom is super duper supportive. I think I always knew that it wasn't going to be a problem coming out to her. I think I was more so worried about how embarrassing she would be and how excited she would be about it. But you know, and I went to a performing arts high school, and so there was a lot of very much like queerness just inherent in that like culture of the school that I went to, but it was still like a big scary thing for me. And I forget where I was going with that. So I'm gonna end the sentence there. And Robin, you grew up in Texas, so I didn't really discover who I was until I was 18, 19. I think that's a lot of things that people deal with is like moving to a larger city where there's a larger queer population can also help like click things in your brain. Don't know if that's a trigger, but I don't think it is too bad. When I heard through the grapevine, unfortunately, that my younger cousin saying she's gay, sad that my family members were treating it like they were sad. They felt like they had no choice but to accept it. Don't get why they were acting sad. It is very, very frustrating. I think that like is also a thing that a lot of people deal with, is like not being able to come out because you hear how your family talks, and like, if they talk about other people like that, how are they going to talk to you like that? You know what I mean? So it is definitely, that is very tricky, my friend. And Zag, knew when I was 14 because that's when I had my first crush on a guy. Didn't come out until I actually moved out, as I was dealing with a lot of self-denial, but probably also had a bit of an internalized homophobia. Very much that. Bi, pan, queer pipeline, absolutely, very, very, very much. And I think that's totally, you know, you can stop anywhere on that train. But I think it's a very common thing when you are in denial. And I think there's also, I think the big thing that I had was, why do I have to come out? Like, why is that a thing? And I experienced that a lot in high school. Like, I had my first major crush. Oh my gosh. I had my first major crush. It was like on one of my friends in my friend group. And I told like my other friends about it. And one of my friends, you know, because I had sort of been out as bi, was very upset by it because they had a crush on me. And it was this whole thing of like them feeling very like hurt and upset that I had a crush on this guy. And It was wild and dramatic. So I eventually ended up coming out, like not coming out, but I eventually ended up sort of confessing my crush to the person who I had a crush on. And they were like, sorry, I've never thought of guys like that before. And I was like, sure, fine, great. You know what? That's totally fine. I just needed to tell you, get it off my back. Bestie, when I tell you they are queer as can be right now, like years later, I think that was the interesting thing too, is like, I think a lot of like the folks, a lot of the folks who like, because I was out in high school and it was definitely a very safe environment for me to be out, but like, it was very surprising to me when I was out that not a lot of other people were out. Because there were some folks who were like, and like you can't always like tell, like, you know, everyone's on their own journey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There are some folks where I'm like, I feel like, also, what the hell is happening on this farm? I've not visited this in a while. There's definitely some folks where I'm like, qu'est-ce que c'est? You know what? You go on your own journey. But I was sort of like surprised. But, you know, and again, like everyone is on their own path. And it is interesting, though, how many folks who were closeted when I was in high school are now out. Because I think you're already going through so much with high school as a thing that exists. High school is like a fucking disaster zone sometimes. Like, you are dealing with so much that, like, honestly, sometimes the last thing you want to worry about is the complexity of coming out. And so you don't. And that's totally fair and valid. That's totally fair and valid. For me, it was nice to sort of have that sort of weight lifted off, and I never had like a full formal like coming out, but like, you know, it sort of slowly trickled down. I told friends, I told people around me, you know, it kind of just sort of ended up all trickling down. But yeah, it's just so complicated. Started self-discovery in junior high, then high school. Told my first friend, and started coming out to more senior year. Fully out around junior year of college. Thanks, Tumblr, for first boyfriend. And Zach, thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate you all also being patient with me. I get very chatty. Oh, and the posture check as well. I get very chatty. I get caught up in my own brain thoughts, and so sometimes I forget to read all your chat messages, but I will read them all. And I appreciate you all being patient. I do also like how you're like, you knew that Rainbow Mafia. I just sometimes, you know. First grade crush is always a disaster. Truly a disaster. Truly disaster. Very much a disaster. And I don't think I really had online boyfriends, but I had online like crushes and flirtations through Tumblr. It was wild. The school years are full of internalized biphobia since I didn't know a lot of queer people and had little to no representation in media. Best thing for mental health was leaving high school. Oh my god. And again, it's going to be different for everyone, but I totally get that. For a time I had thoughts like that. A friend had recently said she said she was bi, later decided she wasn't, but at the time we thought she was. So I thought I'd only considered it because I had my first queer friend. Oh, and they didn't meet. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe telling that I first mentioned to someone I had a crush on a girl. My mom guessed the very person who it was. Oh my goodness gracious. That is truly, sometimes parents do know too much even. You're like, no, why do you, and how do you, and why do you, why are you having knowledge? Why are you having knowledge in your brain? Why do you know your own child who you have fully raised from infancy to adulthood? How do you know me so well? That's not allowed. You know what I mean? Where you're like, but yeah, no, I definitely like, it is just wild to me to like think about how I did start school closeted, and then actually, you know what, I feel like I've shown y'all this a couple of times if you've been in my streams before, but if you've missed it at all before, I actually did go to my prom in full drag. I'll show you a picture. I have it up on my wall. Mom fully knew I was bi because I never hide who I have crushes. I'm bad at hide. When I have feelings for someone, I'm so bad at hiding my crushes. Watched Hairspray at the movie theater at 2 p.m. on a Sunday. It was pouring rain. The theater was empty. The most we did was gasp, hold hands during the movie. Mom drove me home on the phone that night. We said we loved each other. Godric, that's so cute. I'm obsessed. A week later, he said he didn't think he was gay and broke up with you. Not this. Some of the gay dates I went on when I was in high school, because I know it was bad. Yeah, right, Mom. Sure, you know me better than anyone ever. Sure. I never had a girlfriend. First queer relationship was with a fellow non-binary person. Didn't help that I was in the closet. Fair. Definitely will check my streets. Rocks. Thank you. I appreciate that so much, friend. I'm glad we can meet each other. I love Tumblr. Not Tumblr. I love Twitch because we could just like make these lovely queer connections, and I feel very lucky that I am in like a big city where there's a lot of like IRL queer events and a lot of queer folks who congregate to the city. Delta, hello, welcome on in, friend. It's good to see you. But I know that's not the case for everyone, and so I love that the internet can really bring us together. And I love Twitch. I just think Twitch is neat. Feeling more comfortable enough to maybe go out on my first one. Still nervous though, because it's still my awkward social anxious self about dating in general. Besties, can I just tell you something? Dating never gets easier. Dating never gets easier. It is maybe a little bit easier. I did my posture check and my hydrate. I did my posture check and my hydrate. It is still I've been gay dating for almost 10 years now. It does get better, but like only by a little bit. Like life in general absolutely gets better. Gay dating is always messy and it's always like awkward. For me, at least, I'm awkward and I continue to be awkward. I've learned lessons, but boy howdy, am I still like a mess. Dating? No, I didn't really ever date in the closet, but like it's for safety for some people. That just has to be. I totally get that. Part of the time, did steal a urine ice pin for me. That I'm obsessed. There's just not wanting a family to know about it, which is again, I haven't experienced that, but I can only imagine how tricky it is to like hide it from your family because you're worried of like the backlash of that. Okay, let me show you my prom picture in drag. 1 second. So I apologize in advance for how poorly I framed this photo because it's like a frame from like I think the dollar store and I didn't even put it properly, but you can see this is me and one of my best friends in high school. This is me in full drag, going to prom in full drag. So I definitely did like a full 180. Here, let me go to the chatting screen so you can see this bigger. I did a full 180 from being fully in the closet to going to my first prom in full drag. So, high school is definitely different for everyone. Again, I felt very comfortable coming out and exploring drag. Y'all, there's some, I'm not on the slays in chat. I love the slays in chat. Y'all are so cute. Thank you for the slays in chat. Did your mom say you weren't out to her when you went to prom and drag? I mean, okay, so the thing is, like, I feel like I never felt like I actually fully had to come out to my mom because, like, I just felt like I didn't want to when I didn't need to. And I noticed she definitely wanted me to, but, like, I definitely, yeah, I just like didn't feel like I wanted. It just felt like, why do I have to, you know? Which is always very frustrating as a queer person to be like, why do I have to come out? Why do I have to make this big declaration? Blueberry boyfriend, hello friend, welcome in. It's good to see you today. Welcome. We're just talking about. You missed it. I'll show you before you get back to some Stardew. You missed me showing off my picture of me in drag for my prom. Is it me? Am I the drama? Absolutely yes. I'm excited to be here, friend. I hope you're having a good day. Why do we have to come out? It's truly like, why do we have to come out? Why do we? It's so frustrating. It is so infuriating. And that's definitely the energy I had. Like I kind of like, I didn't like come out. I sort of just like, started telling like my friends that I had crushes on boys, and stuff like that. Like I didn't ever have like a full on like coming out. Again, I just like felt like it was so. I felt like it was so unnecessary. Oh, I'm gonna need to decorate. I'm gonna need more stone. I just felt like it was so unnecessary, and so I kind of just didn't. And I felt like that was what was right for me. I know that's not gonna be the right thing for everyone. But I felt like that was definitely what was right for me. It's just like, why do I need to, right? Coming up moment didn't go too well with my mom, and I definitely hurt at the time. Now she's a bigger supporter of me. Couldn't be more thankful. I definitely think it's always very tricky. Definitely, some people it takes time. I think that's always why I'm like, for me, high school was the right time for me to sort of like come out. I was able to sort of like step into my own, and really discover myself. and stuff like that in high school, but I know that that's not the case for everyone, and I'm never going to say, yes, come out in high school, that's the best thing to do, as a blanket statement, because it's gonna be so different for everyone. Not the sleigh jingle. I'm so sorry. Slay what you wanna slay. It's coming out. Which coming out could be abolished. Can I have the privilege that straight cis people have, where they don't have to declare? Truly, the fact that you have to like declare yourself upon the world, it feels very much like what are those things where it's like they used to do it where young women would like introduce themselves in cotillion. Is that what I'm thinking of? Debutante balls or cotillion balls, like that's what I'm thinking of. Imagine if we did that. Like why do we have to do that basically when we come out? Like, why is that a thing? But anyways, yeah, so it was right for me, but everyone's in different situations, so I never want to say, oh yes, come out in high school, because it's gonna be different for everyone. But I definitely feel like, it was sort of the right thing for me to do. But as I was saying, like I have a friend who teaches middle school. He teaches grade 7 and 8, and it's absolutely like fascinating just the difference in like how many students are out who are out as non-binary, who are out as gay or trans, like who are openly queer in middle school. I think I definitely like knew, but I was still dealing with like being bullied and coming to terms with that. Like I still had crushes on girls. I still thought I had crushes on girls in middle school. And so I think it's so interesting to see how much has changed societally that allows a lot of folks to come out at a younger age. I'm sure that like my performing arts high school was definitely pretty queer, but like, I was still one of the few gay kids. I think I now know that there's a lot of folks who were in my school who have now come out, but they weren't out when I was in school. And I can just imagine the amount of folks who are out now, given the sort of like societal structure and way that things have changed, right? Took a long time to come out to my sister as Arrow Ace. It's hard to explain to other people. I didn't come out as Emby though, but at least I know she's okay with this. I'm glad to hear that, friend. Also, Zag, I missed that message. Remember, come out 1st of June 2019. I was scared as heck. I was also fully ready to get defensive and kick people out of my life. Very much a mood where you're like, well, time for me to burn bridges. If anyone hates me, then that's their problem. You know what I mean? Had a few coming out moments with my parents over the years. My mom is has still not said 2 words to me about any of it. No negatives, but no positives. I feel like that definitely. I feel like that's definitely tricky, my friend. Hopefully as time passes, you can get some of that positive affirmation. But it is definitely tricky to sort of have that not knowing, right? TS Short about how you come out multiple times and truly. Wish parents knew how important the reactions are beyond just don't be truly, exactly. Just don't be extremely negative. Yeah, no, it is as much as like you can be so like comfortable in yourself, like I don't know, it's just like sometimes you do need that external validation, and you can learn and grow and sort of move away from needing as much, but you know what, you're always going to need some of that like validation for people you care about. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. We're going to school right now, and during Pride Month this year, I felt really supported but also seen because a lot of queer kids at school learned that I'm bi and started to come chat with me and share their queer stories. Delta, I love to hear that. I love to hear that so very much. That makes my heart so very happy. Here's something with doubtful, but that's okay. Super duper support system built over the years. Oh, we definitely have talked a lot about on my It Gets Better streams about found family. Found family is so impactful, so special. whether they be IRL or through the internet. Honestly, truly, so wonderful. And creativity, that is such a valid concern. Being worried that you'll have to cut ties with people, like for your own well-being and for your own sake. Because it is tricky, there are people you care about, and you don't not want them not in your life, but also you don't want to put up with, people being like awful to you. Being called a queer elder at age 25 was not the vibe, though. Not them coming in your classroom and saying, hi old, I have a queer story for you. Hi. It is truly fascinating to me, and I don't know if I have a huge viewpoint into it, but I think, I think there is through the internet, I do have like a bit of a little look-see into how different things are for a lot of like younger folks, and it's like truly fascinating. I feel like there's definitely going to be like studies and data and all sort of shit like that. I would absolutely love to read a paper about like the queer high school experience and how it's changed even just in the past 5 years. Because I've been out of high school for, I think, almost 10 years now, which we don't talk about that. But the amount of stuff that's probably changed just in that short period of time, mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Fight for their rights so they don't have to go through, oh my god, absolutely. And like, I even acknowledge that like, in the grand scheme of things, what I had to go through was nothing in compared to a lot of what the queer folks before me had to go through. Like the fact that I was even able to tiptoe into coming out in high school, I think that's like huge. That is so major huge. That is like, almost unfathomable. And now it's kind of like, not the norm for everyone, but like it is more tiptoeing into the norm is both really cool and also terrifying. And just Jelly, hello, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow, friend. Welcome to our stream. It is lovely to have you here. We're just chatting about, being queer in high school and that sort of experience while playing a little bit of Stardew Valley. Honestly, I decided to do Stardew Valley today because it's definitely a game where I can just kind of put it on in the background of my brain and be super chatty about things. While still doing a game in case my brain sort of farts out at any point and I'm like, I don't know what I have to talk about. I can go, well, I can play Stardew Valley and I can definitely fall right into, there's a lot of stuff to work on in this game. I can definitely fall right into it. Everyone came out as non-binary as soon as I left high school. I just missed the cut of everyone being more open about gender. Truly. We were talking earlier before you got here about how also I feel like the pandemic has definitely shifted and allowed people time to really like think about gender and sexuality. And I think it's definitely, online school is the worst thing ever. I would not wish it upon my worst enemy, but like, being just at home with your computer and alone. And also no need to apologize. We're having a good chat. I know a lot of folks are probably lurking in the background, and I think it's just such an interesting thing to talk about. That we can absolutely repeat some things. If you don't like me repeating things, too bad. You don't have to be, I'm kidding. I hope you'll put up with me repeating things. Yeah, we before y'all folks got in here, we were talking about how definitely there was a couple of folks who were saying, yeah, pandemic let me, realize gender and pronoun and sexuality things, and it's just very cool, but also like what that like one of the positives of a global pandemic is folks feeling more comfortable like exploring and expressing gender and sexuality. Like, that's just, if you told me that that was going to be like the upside to a global pandemic, I would have never thought about it. But you know, I think we saw a lot of like societal change. I think it's very, very, very fascinating. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, I think I have enough for a thingamabob that I wanted in the game. I could be wrong. I think I have enough for a thingamabob I wanted in this game. What? There's positives to a global pandemic? I know. I mean, it is also the wild to really think about. You know, we're 2.5 years into pandemic. Things have definitely shifted, but like, you know, like it's so wild to like be able to reflect to like early pandemic and like think about how much of like being so online, I think Bob, exactly. Everyone being online allowed us to sort of all come together in a way that I think has really changed society forever. I think it's changed a lot of the ways that people view themselves and the world around them. It's weird. It's weird and cool, and it's very, very weird and cool. Okay, do I have enough for the return scepter? Oh no, the return scepter is 2 million. More expensive than I remembered it being. So maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, I guess you know what I'll do? I'll go buy, because I want to do more stone pathing on my farm. I'll go buy some more stone because honestly, I could go harvest it, but I could also just do my rich person thing of buying it all. Because I'm 100% completed this game, this save file. I can just sit back and laugh and enjoy being rich. Also, so the reason why I kind of like was starting to think about like high school as my topic for today for stream was me and my bestie started watching Glee last night. We started rewatching Glee, and it like reminded me of like oh shoot, I did the wrong thing. It reminded me of like, it really reminded me of high school because Glee, the first season came out the first year I started high school. I was in a performing arts program. Like in my second year, I was like in a show choir in high school. And so like Glee just unlocks high school memories for me. Singing Don't Stop Believing, meeting Naya Rivera from Glee for like a thing. Like it unlocks all these memories, and I'm like, oh my gosh. The high school show choir moment, wild. I think it took me a long to save up for, and I made the mistake of going for it before the Warp Tower. No, not this. But anyway, so I started rewatching Glee. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my brain has unlocked so many things. My brain has unlocked so many things. But I also like remembered like how like I feel like the journey of my like expression in high school, like definitely me discovering drag. Before I started doing drag, the way that I dressed was wild. I dressed wildly. Like I fully like hadn't started doing drag yet, but I wore like Jeffrey Campbell, like I think they were called Litas. I wore like Jeffrey Campbell high heel boots, like all sorts of wild stuff. Closet Things, hello friend, it's good to see you. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing well, friend. And welcome on in. We're talking about like high school and coming out and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely like went on like a journey, and for me, drag really helped me sort of like have this sort of creative outlet for expressing myself through clothing. Because before I started doing drag, I was like dressing so like extravagantly. I should have found a picture to show y'all, because some of the way that I dressed when I was in high school was like truly wild. But like drag definitely gave me this outlet. to like, you know, explore my gender definitely a lot more and have this sort of like space to sort of like try things out. But no, y'all, like the way that I dressed, because the thing is also like, I don't think I ever was really like, you know, in the closet. I think if y'all, yeah, I mean, y'all know me. And if y'all don't know me, the fruitiest of all fruits, I don't think there was ever really a way for me to like fully be closeted. I don't think that was ever going to be a thing. But me like, you know, in the closet was still definitely a wild journey that I went on. Definitely some choices were made. Definitely some choices were made. The closet was truly the glass closet, though. I really didn't need to come out. Realizing that what I had to send here before briefly switching my phone, no longer on. Oh my god, no, that's totally fine, friend. You're welcome to switch back. I get so distracted by different topics. You are welcome to pull us to a different conversation topic that we already talked about. You are very welcome to do that, friend. Again, I take my It Gets Better streams as definitely like a really big opportunity to just like have really good conversation. And so do I get anything done when I'm gaming, playing games and It Gets Better streams? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it still vibes. It still bops, it still vibes. But yeah, I definitely like, I had a very interesting sort of like fashion journey in high school, sort of like exploring gender through fashion. I mean, has anyone else had that sort of like thing where they start gender exploration through trying new fashion stuff before they sort of like commit to a thing? Because I definitely had that thing as a thing for me. Trying to remember where to add to return context. I don't plan to cut any ties. I don't want it to be a thing, you know? Doesn't need to be the only thing people talk about or behind their backs people knowing. Doesn't need to have people weirdly quiet around me. Oh, I totally get that. We're talking about like coming out and like cutting ties to folks who are maybe stinky to you post coming out. No, I totally get that. Gotta head out. Lovely listening to you. Have a great stream. I'm gonna, of course, Libby. Thank you for being here. Adore you. Appreciate you. I will see you when I see you next, my friend. Y'all, if y'all are an Atmos fan, y'all get so much of me this week. I swear to gosh, you're gonna be sick of me by the time this week is done, because you get so many Atmos streams. Because this isn't even the last time you see me this week. You get to see me on Friday on the Crown channel. The fruits are truly thriving. They are ripe and thriving. It is truly a great time to be an Atmos stan. And if you're not an Atmos stan just yet, better start. No better time than now to start. I feel like that's me now. As I know myself more, I am figuring out my style and vice versa. Totally. I'm so excited. I plan on doing, if y'all don't know, like, the contract that I have for It Gets Better, like, I am brought on for, I think it's a 6-month period. Thank you for the hydration. So we're brought on for like a certain period of time with like a chance to sort of renew our contract. So my last stream is in October, which is next month. And I've sort of said this already, you know, in this stream, but I do drag. I have done drag for the past about 10 years. And so for my final for now, It Gets Better stream, I'm planning on doing a drag makeup get ready with me stream, and talking about like gender, sexuality, and clothing, because it is something that is like a huge level and topic of interest for me. and I think it would be a very cool thing to talk about, because I just think clothing and fashion is so cool, and I think they'll allow the level of like expression it allows you, and the way that it is like a visual signifier for who you are in the world. It is fashion. I can be a little more true with my gender expression, but unfortunately not safe for. Oh my god, no, Roxanne, I totally get that. I totally get that. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's definitely very tricky, but I'm glad that we have this online space where hopefully you were able to tiptoe into it at least a little bit. And Cherry, trigger warning, not accepting ex-friends. You had an old friend from high school who knew me before using they, them. They got annoyed every time I correct them on my pronouns. Worst part, I also used to date this person. Stinky, stinky, stinky. Major stank. They don't wash their booty. They have a stanky, stanky butt. They're a gross, awful person. And I mean, it's complicated, but also stinky. Also stinky, stinky, stinky. I see, part of me is so tempted to like try doing a little search for, okay, actually I think I'm changed my mind. I think I want to have like a little mushroom thing. Okay, let me get some fences. Do I want fences? Yes, I do want fences. I think I want a little mushroom area. Twitch is not it gets better does not condone Atmos's booty smelling assessment. Well, I mean, if the stank fits. If the stank fits. Let's do, I know it's gonna go bad, but let's do the hardwood fence. How many do I have? Oh, I could probably do that. I'm on the truly on the fence about fences. Don't fence me in. Have a little gate moment, probably 2 gates. Oddly enough, I had the reverse for when an ex-friend came out. They were afraid I wouldn't be accepting. I mean, it's always, I think it's always so interesting. Like, it's always so interesting, like realizing like how true or false your like preconceptions about people can be. I recently watched the TV show Nathan For You, and it's a wild roller coaster ride. You know, it's very, very specific. I don't know if it's for everyone, but one of the fascinating things about the show was like seeing, there was a lot of parts of it where people were trying to sort of figure out how to like do you know you can change the, oh wait, yeah, I feel like I did know that. Also, hi Margotron, welcome in, friend. It's good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. But it was just interesting to see in one of the episodes of the show, someone sort of has to admit something to a friend, and like they are really worried, and it all goes well. But like it was just fascinating to see how worried they were. Like, which for what ended up being you kind of for no reason, but to them it was a very valid and, you know, honest fear. I mean, they didn't have a reason to not think so, I'm sure. No, oh god, no, of course. And it's just, I think sometimes when you're in that mindset of like being very like scared to come out, it could be very hard to like fully, you know what I mean? Fully, you know, like think 100% rationally. Also, Min, hello friend, welcome in. It's so good to see you. Oh my goodness, so gracious. No, so gracious. I mean, I am gracious and grateful to have so many pals, but I meant to say it's great to see all of you here. So many lovely humans joining me and hanging out with me while we chit chat. Lovely. I love streaming. I love streaming. It makes me very happy. I love just doing what I do and playing video games and having really great chats with a bunch of lovely other humans on the internet. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I keep on in my mind also, now that we talked about, like, we've been talking about high school, I keep on picturing, like Glee Club performances that I did when I was in high school, and I'm like, oh my gosh. The level of cringe that is in my brain and soul. The level of cringe that is in my brain and soul is... I feel like on my own channel, because I don't want to get It Gets Better in trouble. There's definitely some copyrighted music in the Glee Club performances that are on YouTube from my show choir. But I'm like, maybe on my own channel, maybe on my own channel in the future, we could do a little watch party of some of my high school Glee Club moments. Maybe we can do that in the future. Maybe coming to an Atmos stream near you sometime. Who knows? It'll definitely have to be a reward for something. I'm not gonna give y'all cringe show choir video for free. We'll have to work for it. It'll be maybe for charity that y'all get that, but when I was in high school, I think I think my first year I was like a tenor, but my voice changed quite quickly. I think it depended because there wasn't a whole lot of guys in my school, but I I think I sung sort of baritone bass in a lot of the choirs and stuff. No drag for free? No drag for free. But this is show choir. This is not drag. Although one could argue the show choir is drag. Okay, Mr. Deep? Wait, what do you mean, Mr. Deep? Me saying that show choir is drag? I mean, is it not a performance? I don't need to spend a lot of time, but I gotta get up hella early. Oh my god, of course. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. It was lovely spending some time with you, friend. Please go take care of yourself. Do what you got to do. I hope it is not too painful and torturous waking up early tomorrow. I hate that I did that. And we'll see you when we see you, friend. Thank you for dropping by and saying hi. Okay, I have got to get myself out of here before I faint. Excuse me. Please excuse me. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay. Although I don't really have a plan for what I'm doing right now. I'm just talking and walking. As one does. As one does. I feel like I also definitely don't need to like be doing some of the farm duties. While I go about decorating, because I do need to like make a little bit of income. Like it's not like desperately needed, but like, you know, I can't just have my animals sit and wait forever for me. Thank you for the pizza. Thank you for that. That there. Oh, Mr. Deep Voice. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, huh? I did the casks early on stream. Which farm? This is OG first ever Stardew Farm. This is the old school throwback. This is the first save file I ever had. I haven't visited in a while. I thought it would be nice to sort of do a little bit of decorating. Also because I don't really have any like, oh shoot, actually, you know what? Because I don't have any like big, major like quests or anything in this one. It would be the best one for like, you know, a more in the realm of more of like a serious conversation. It would allow me to have more sort of capacity to sort of like pay attention to the conversation and just sort of fiddle around with this save file. Yes, the perfection one. This is my perfection save file. Are my animals starving? No, they're doing just fine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I did also take that Junimo Kart quest, so I am going to play the Junimo Kart quest without swearing, which will be interesting for me. Because if you have seen me play Junimo Kart before, you will know that I tend to, maybe a little bit of profanity, but It Gets Better, understandably, has asked me not to use profanity when I am streaming here. So I'm gonna do my darndest. I'm gonna do my absolute ding darn tootin' best to not say a swear when playing this little game. But you know what? I'm so out of practice. I'm really out of practice. I gotta build my skill up again. But yeah, I forget what I was saying now. I like how I was saying, oh yeah, this lets me focus on the conversation topics. Completely forgot the conversation. Completely forgets the topic that I was discussing. Love that for me. Very on brand. Very, very much on brand. I mean, a lot of folks have already shared, but use fake profanity. Dibbly doop-a-dom. Slorby borby. I'll think of stuff creatively. Someone in chat really said they didn't like the vibes of people who don't swear. I'm just like, I honestly though, it kind of is surprising to me. I don't swear a lot. Like it's not like an intentional thing. It's not like in my day-to-day life, in my streams, I like purposely, I'm like, well, better stop saying the profanity. Like, it's not like, it's not like fully, like purposefully intentional. Fiddlesticks. Oh, or holy forking shirt balls. Very 10 out of 10, enjoy the good place. But I really don't in my day-to-day life. I just don't, I stream a lot. I don't swear a lot. And so like on stream, it just doesn't come through. I don't know. Like, I don't get me wrong. I do swear, but I'm just like, I don't know. Just not a profanity kind of person, really. And this is nothing against profanity, but just not something I end up doing. It's how could you not enjoy the good place? How could you simply not enjoy the good place? Although I will say, good place not gay enough. Not gay enough. Needed more queer representation. Great, not gay enough. Spit? Is that a swear, Margotron? Have I just never heard of that used as a swear before? Okay, that was very close. Very, very rare, very close. Sugar honey iced tea. Honey, honey, boop, 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 sugar honey. How did I make that? Shh, don't question my skills. Don't question my skills. Don't question my skills. I swear in my head they don't say, I swear in my head don't say it out loud because I don't see the point. I mean, sometimes I truly can't help it, but you know what? Totally fair. I also will say, like, I've done a lot of drag queen story times, and like sometimes you truly don't recognize, how much you maybe don't talk the most appropriately until you're around actual children. Smithy, Nintendo Switch, 1989. Smithy, welcome on in. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for that follow, pal. I appreciate that so very much. Welcome to stream. It is lovely to see you today. We were talking about queer high school experiences, but now we're talking about profanity. Now we're just talking about profanity, which, you know, it is a topic of conversation. God damn it. How would I get my computer to work if I didn't swear at it? No, that's correct. If I didn't swear at technology, how would it know that I need it to cooperate? Yeah, I'll come back to that. We could always talk about more queer stuff. For now, the topic of conversation for some reason is swearing. I think it's also, this actually does bring it back around. I think it's also very interesting. Don't question my skills means I don't know. Shh. Don't reveal my secrets. Don't reveal my secrets. It's fine. It's also very interesting how like attitudes of like certain like language for queer folks has shifted, because I know there's definitely a lot of elders who don't like certain words being used that have definitely just been reclaimed by a lot of younger queer folks, and there's a lot of terminology that elder queer folks use that isn't as politically correct, but a lot of elder queer folks are just like, but this is the word I've always used. Like, I mean, especially, I mean, even your word queer is one that is definitely not super contentious, but it's some that people have split feelings about. But I think it's always, and I think it's, you know, it's not black and white. There is definitely gray area there, but it's always just so interesting sort of seeing how language evolves as well. When I curse, my dad gets mad at me, even though I'm an adult. Where do you think I got it from? Truly. Truly, truly, truly. My mom, if you weren't here for it, my mom was a guest on my It Gets Better stream a couple of streams ago. And she was like, language, watch your language at one point when I swore. I was like, ma'am, you are in my house in my stream. But I think I did end up saying, I'm sorry. Sorry, mom. Sorry about that. Sure, if it's okay to use because of that. One thing I hear is more intention because it's, yeah, oh no, absolutely. And I think, you know, I think always important to like do your research, ask other folks, you know, if you are unsure about certain language, God damn it. If you're unsure about certain language, you know, the internet might not always be the most reliable space to get your answers. So asking those questions, you know, here or in my stream or in, you know, the Discord that I have, or, you know, in spaces where there are, you know, if you don't have that in-person thing, you don't trust the general internet. I think there's a Discord rule described somewhere that you can cuss, but you can't cuss someone out. Ooh, fair. Language and slang and slurs are sometimes regional and sometimes generational. Truly, right. The regional stuff is always, I think we saw that a lot with, like, recently with Lizzo and Beyonce, which is its own conversation. I think there's, you know, a lot of complexities with anti-blackness. Oh, the boy has risen. Christina, thank you for pointing. I would never have noticed. He is awakened. Also, hi, Christina. Welcome in. It's good to see you, friend. P for pause. Let me tab out so you don't have just a random Leo camera sitting here. Hi. What's up? Do you want to laugh or do you want to leave? What would you like? He can't use his word. I love how I always like try to get him to use his words. He can't use his words, but I still want him to use his words. You want to sit on my lap? I can give you lots of pets. We can take a Junimo cart break and I can sit and pet you. Did you want that? Did you want a Junimo cart break? Would you like to be pet, Mimo? There you go. There you go, sweet boy. Sometimes I let outdated language slide if the person is trying to be an ally just old. Oh my god, totally makes sense. No, like sometimes people just like sometimes you just have to like it's frustrating, but sometimes you just have to let go of like educating. I think on one side you're never too old to learn, but on the other side sometimes it's like if it's not actively doing a large amount of harm, sometimes like if someone's heart's in the right place, you just got to move on with it. But again, also everyone's attitude is gonna be different. Some people are gonna want to do that education and they're not gonna take it if someone is imperfect with their language, and that's also totally fair and fine. To each their own, truly to each their own. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. I want to get Leo big boy, just so you can appreciate him for a little bit. Take a little break. A little break to you know, Picking the moment is definitely key. Because there are some times where it's like, yes, it's time to educate. And there's sometimes where it's just like, is it worth it? Let me work it. Throw my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Kitty, right? Such a good boy. Such a good boy. Hello, little Leo. I hope y'all are okay with the kitty break. I was like, we're talking about such cool stuff, and we're playing an intense mini game. What if I just take a little kitty break to pet Leo? Honestly, it's so nice sometimes just to be able to be like, I have an excuse to take a break in the middle of stream. I don't think anyone's gonna be mad about it. Kitty representation, truly. Oh, are you settling in? Settling in and settling down, boy? I'll smallify you a little bit. But you can sit on my lap. As long as you don't, ow, scratch too much and bite too much. See, I always regret immediately. I always regret immediately. Because I let him love me, and it bites me in the booty. Almost always. I'm literally holding one of his paws right now, so it doesn't scratch me too hard. This is what, I mean, honestly, whose fault is it? My fault for giving him attention? My fault for wearing shorts today and not realizing that he would want to hang out in my lap and that there would be bare skin for him to claw? Or his fault for being evil? A beautiful boy causing pain? Truly. Very much a major, major mood. No, I wanted that cherry. I honestly though, sometimes it's so spur of the moment when I let Leo hang out with me and I'm like, yeah, come here and hang out with me. And I'm like, oh, you know what? It would have been a smart choice earlier on in our little hangout session for me to protect myself and not wreck myself. But it's just a little too late. No, it's just a little too late. Shit. I let a swear slip. It gets better. I'm so sorry. I let a swear slip. It was just one swear. I promise. I promise it was just one swear. I mean, it's like on broadcast television. You get like one. I think you get one swear. I think. Oh yes, they're my favorite mushrooms as well. Also, that's definitely what I was talking about. Definitely, for sure. We were having a conversation about food. Oh, you actually didn't know? Okay, perfect. Maybe I just whispered it well enough. And definitely on purpose, and definitely not by accident. I also love how I went from like, yeah, it's just gonna be like a chill day in Stardew Valley. I'm just gonna like, you know, work on decorating my farm. I want my farm to look really cute, so I'm gonna work on decorating it. That's gonna be my main goal. Plays Junimo Kart Endless Mode. Why do I do this to myself? Why did I do this to myself? Why did I do this to myself? I ask myself this every day. And then Junimo Grunge. Truly. Be nice, Leo. Don't use your claws. That wreck. Oh. Oh, the Junimo Grind. I was confused. I was like, Grudge? Or Grunge? Like, is there Junimo Grunge? Honestly, Junimo Grunge music would kind of be iconic. A grunge remix of Junimo music? Hi. Oh, he's tanking my gameplay. He's purring so loudly, but he's tanking my gameplay. I will say though, this is actually probably the best thing to do because I can play Junimo Kart one-handed while having my hand petting him. Whereas if I was decorating, I'd have to be moving around in the game. Oh my god, no, don't even worry about it. Hey, Again, language is always complicated. English is a very weird, complicated language. I never, ever, ever expect perfection. We always have patience to work through it, figure it out together if we are having communication errors due to language. We'll just make it work. We'll just make it work. I feel like I talked a lot about my high school stuff. Do any of you have like interesting or fun high school stories? It could be about being queer in high school, or it could just be about general high school stories. I've told you all how I was on Degrassi, right? The true Canadian high school experience, being a background extra on Degrassi. I feel like I've talked about this enough times that it's generally accepted and acknowledged Atmos lore, is that Atmos was on Degrassi. Right? I feel like most of y'all know about it. I was technically on Degrassi twice, although this first time was a web episode, but the second one was an actual full-on episode. I think it was season 12 or something like that. It was a season finale. And it was an episode where one of the characters, he was in a fight with his girlfriend and they were graduating, and so we put together a flash mob. And I was at a performing arts high school, and I was an actual high school student, and so they hired us as vocalists to like record. So we did a studio recording of the vocals for the track, like the backup vocals, because no offense to the Degrassi actors, not all of them were singers. So we did the vocals for that, and then we also, as part of it, were extras, so we got to like be on the set of Degrassi. And I technically graduated from high school twice, because I graduated from my high school and I graduated from Degrassi High. I think it's called Degrassi High. Is that why it's the I will say I'm not a Degrassi watcher. But I was on Degrassi twice. Degrassi, big thing in Canada? I don't really know. I didn't watch a whole lot of TV growing up, so I don't really know. I had a queer friend, so it was more fun than until toward the end. I was asking if my friend went to even only ever crush on one girl. 1 second. Oh, queer friends in high school. Yes. Don't have middle school or high schools in my country. You go to primary school from 6 to 15 or 7 to 16, depending on when you start. Then after you go to gymnasium, or in my case, boarding school. Oh, interesting, Zag. Very interesting. It seemed like drama to me when I would see the... Oh, definitely. The episode that I was in, one of the girls, I think, finds out that she might have cancer in the season finale. It was wild. Original show was the big thing in Canada. Not sure what the current ratings are. I think, you know, I mean, I don't know. When I was on it, I don't know how big it was, but the original Degrassi was definitely huge. When Drake was on it was definitely big. I think that's why Drake was like, you know, he was able to skyrocket to fame, because everyone knew him from Degrassi. And that's a cool, Margaret, that they work on Degrassi at your work. That is very, very cool. But yeah, honestly, I had a very unique high school experience being on Degrassi. When I was absolutely no, that hurt. No, please don't. Can you not? I don't have the patience for this today. You're on my lap or you're out the door. Okay, so I think he's chosen. Out the door. Highest rated episode, obviously. Obviously the highest rated episode. Let me actually, and if anyone's curious, I want to be very cautious about copyright stuff, because I don't want it gets better to get in trouble. I don't want it gets better to get in trouble for it. But let me pull it up. It's fully on YouTube. Like, you could watch this on YouTube. Let me pull up. It's like the last bit of the episode. if you would like to see me on YouTube. I do need a kitty. I have a blanket right here that I could use. Also, he's back to being on the bed. If you would like to see me in Degrassi, you can go to like near the end of the episode, like the 20-minute mark or so. Wait, no, is it the? Oh, it's like the 15-minute mark or so. 15 minutes into that video.
Thanks, Degrassi.
Oh no, that is audio still on. Anyways, if you want to see me on Degrassi, I was actually nominated for an Emmy. It's so funny you should say that. I did actually get nominated for an Emmy when I was on Degrassi. Fun, extra bit of Atmos lore. I'm an Emmy-nominated background extra. Video unavailable. It's probably because you're not in Canada. It's probably because you're not in Canada. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna mute the audio, but I'm gonna find where I am in this. Okay. So you can see it. Oh no, it's gonna be hard to set it up. Not available in the US. I am so sorry to all my US besties. I'm so sorry to all my US besties. I'll find a way. I won't be today because I don't want to get better in trouble, but I'll find a way to show you my Degrassi fame. I'll find a way to show it to you. I think I've definitely posted it in Discord before. I'll fish it up and I'll find it again for anyone who wants to see it. Because I was like, yeah, it's just on YouTube. You can watch it for free. Nope. 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 It would make sense that it's only available in Canada. That would definitely... That would track. That would definitely track. I'm trying to think of other like wild high school experiences that I had. What other things that I'm like, I did in high school? I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I went to, okay, so what is prom like where you live? Because I feel like prom in the States is very weirdly different than prom in Canada. Prom is only for your senior year in Canada. So if you're in your last year of high school, that's the only year that you do prom. But I feel like I know in the States you have like a bunch of different proms. But for me, it was like definitely different. But I had a friend when I was in, I think grade 10 or 11, and they were in grade 12, and it was their final year, and there was their prom. They took me as their date to prom. So I got to go to prom once, and I went to prom out of drag. And so I think that's also why I went to prom in full drag. I was like, well, I've already been to prom once, quote unquote, regularly. What if I go to prom all dolled up? What if I go to prom all dolled up? And so that is... But yeah, I feel like I've seen, like, in American media, there's like a bajillion, quadrillion proms. I'm like, how do y'all have so many proms? How do y'all have so many proms? Who's going to those and who's paying for those? I gotta pause. Prom is for seniors, but a younger date. Oh yeah. That's the same for my school. My junior prom, because my senior year prom was canceled due to certain world events. Okay, that makes sense. But you would have had a junior and senior prom. So yeah, we only have like senior prom, which just basically gets called prom. Oh, so you only had one prom, but you, okay, interesting. Interesting. I feel like there's also definitely like places in the world where there's prom isn't a thing at all. Like it's definitely not very big here. Like it's not like people definitely make a deal out of it, but it's not as big of a deal as, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it is. Especially in the States. I feel like in the States, prom is a huge deal from what I've seen. Never went to senior prom due to the pandemic. So a lot of folks had pandemic prom cancellations. Oh, you were on the prom committee. Only had a prom when you were in boarding school. There was taking photos with my friends, getting to ride in a limo. Okay, yeah, no, I did a limo ride with my friends. It was really, really fun. I also definitely like wore heels. I could not commit to wearing heels the entire time I was there. I was barefoot by the end of the night. I was definitely barefoot by the end of the night. You know what I think I remember? I think I actually had a flight literally the next day after my prom. And I went to prom in drag, but I wanted to go to the prom after party. We like paid a frat to let us have our party at their frat house. garbage, awful, horrid. But so I think after like the full prom, I went home. I got out of drag. I went to the after party, and then I like had to leave the after party early and like pack my bag so I could get on a flight. It was wild. Remember, I was supposed to have a limo and went to a beach house hotel for hotel. Oh, a beach house hotel. That sounds cool though. Oh my god, of course, Blueberry Boyfriend. Thank you for being here. I feel like I haven't seen you in a little bit, so it was so good to see you today. And I hope I get to see you again soon. I hope grocery shopping goes well. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you when we see you, my friend. Yeah, so actually, my mom used to do we did like really fun birthday parties when I was a younger kid. And I think for one of my sister's birthday parties, my sister really wanted a limo ride. And like we each got kind of like budgets that we could kind of not like do whatever we wanted, but like we kind of like, okay, as long as it's within your budget, you can kind of choose what you want to do for your birthday. And for one of my sister's birthday parties one year, she really wanted a limo ride. And my mom was like, okay, that's kind of your entire budget though, my friend. And so basically my sister and a group of her friends, we like did a limo ride around town, and we got in and the driver's like, okay, where are we going? My mom was just like, just drive, bestie. Just go for it. Have a nice little drive moment. You all chipped in for the limo. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the case a lot of the times is limos are expensive. And so if everyone chips in, it's fair and feasible to have a limo for everyone. I also feel like I remember the drama around shopping for a dress for prom, and I got added to like the prom dress because you had to like, there was a group so that people wouldn't show up to prom wearing the same dress. It was like a Facebook group, and you had to post your dress there when you got your dress. And if you posted your dress, no one else could have that same dress. And I was like, besties, I'm making my prom dress. I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about having the same dress as you all, because I'm kind of making it from scratch. I'm not going out and buying an off-the-rack dress. We're having a little handmade moment. So I did not have to worry about that. I did definitely not have to worry about that. Which was, it was really fun though. It was really, really fun. The preparation, getting everything together for prom was like, I think I worked on it for like months. Getting every like corsage, custom done, nails, wig style, custom painted shoes. Exactly. It's very much that why spend $5 when you can spend $50 on craft supplies to make it yourself. That was very much the vibe. Although my mom did give me like a budget. My mom like she gave me a budget for prom stuff. And she was like, I think it was like something like $150. You have $150 to spend. Spend it how you wish for prom to make your outfit happen. And so I had that budget, and I had to spend within that budget. And so I think I only ended up spending about $150 for prom, which wasn't too bad, honestly. I mean, looking back, Miss Ma'am, it was a bit of a crunchy, crusty journey. Why did I decide that? No, my lips are too juicy for overlining them. I'm gonna keep my regular, normal lips. Why did I decide that? Why did I just commit to that as a moment? But I did, and honestly, looking at that picture and like looking at my makeup skills now, the growth, the personal growth and change that has been brought to my life via 10 years of practicing makeup. It's hard being talented, but someone's got to do it, and that you get that way through practice. Okay. Speaking of practice, I think I'm gonna call it on Junimo Kart for now. We can always return to it later, but I think for now, not doing too hot, and it could be good to sort of get a break from it, refresh my brain hole, and pardon me, get a break from it, refresh my brain, and regroup and focus on something for the future. Okay, let me coffee to zoom me around. I think I want to clear up so I don't have as many mushroom trees. Just kind of everywhere. I want to have my mushroom trees more fenced into my mushroom tree area, if that makes sense. I think it's good. I think this will look good. I think this will definitely look good. But it's just a little busy right now. And you know what? We'll make it less busy. Oh, Leo, you've got Leo hair all over my mouth. Truly pain and suffering living with an animal. He's a sweet baby angel, but also, do I despise him a little bit? Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe he causes me pain and suffering. Occasionally. Yeah, I just got too many. I do wish there was some sort of terraforming that you could do though on your farms, because I would love to add like a pond closer to all of my animals. Like I want my ducks to have a pond, but I don't really want to have to move my shit around. And so it would be nice if there was like a late game kind of terraforming tool that let you extra customize your farm, because once you're like at 100% perfection, it's really all about like, you know, doing whatever the heck you want. So it'd be nice to be able to get yourself, you know, your own kind of fancy setup whenever you wanted in this video game. Let's grab this. Ducks, right? Ducks being a home is so cute, but this stinky game. I think you have to have your pond close enough to the ducks that they actually like go into it to make it happen. I don't think I've lined it up properly, but they can. It is. I have never seen it myself with my own human eyes in my game, but I have heard that you can get your ducks swimming in a pond. But yeah, you can get your ducks swimming in a pond if you put a pond close enough. Okay, so that's taken care of. Are all my animals taken care of? Yes. Yeah. You can like if your ducks are close enough. I mean, maybe part of me is tempted to move my ducks over. Maybe down here so that they can go to the pond. Much to think about. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. I think we'll start with just clearing everything up because it's so messy. Ooh, that's the wrong thing. Although I will say, I opened the save file to see my rainbow farm on my on Ginger Island is what I meant to say. And I'm like, damn, I did a pretty good job with that. You know what? Not mad at that. Pretty darn impressed with my own skills in this video game. Lurkwell just said, Matt, at my first college LGBTQ club meeting tomorrow. Oh my god, so exciting, friend. I have my first day back at university tomorrow, and I'm not terrified, but I'm not terrified. Decorate the volcano? Yeah, I feel like Margatron, I'm definitely gonna get to a point where I might work on decorating off stream, but I feel like I'm definitely gonna get to a point where I'm like, oh no, everywhere needs to be decorated. Once I'm happy with how the farm is looking decoration wise. Now you have to do it on every save. It's required. It's contractually, factually obligated that you have to decorate your volcano. I wish I'd done something like that in school, but the size of groups. See, I will say, like, I think I've gotten definitely differently. Like, I also loving like all of you realizing that you're all lurking here. My favorite thing ever. You're like, oh, hi, all the friends are here. Everyone's just doing a little lurky, which I love. If you are lurking today, I hope you're enjoying hanging out here. I hope you're enjoying the vibes. I hope you're enjoying the chats. Thank you for spending some of your time with me and little Leo back there. I appreciate so very much having you here. It's lovely chilling out with you. Um, what was I saying? But yeah, I feel like because I've gone to university. I'm in university right now, and I waited 5 or 6 years out of high school to go to university, which I'm very glad I did. And hi, Emmy. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, lots of mushrooms. I'm organizing. Maybe too many mushrooms. So we are organizing. Let me also get you a shouty, my sweet friend. If you don't know Emmy, lovely, lovely, amazing content creator, amazing human being, a fellow It Gets Better ambassador. So if you are following It Gets Better, you may see Emmy's face on this stream every once in a while. But if you would like to see even more, do I? I'm scared to use too big of a bomb. But yes, if you'd like to go give Emmy some love, give Emmy a follow. You will not regret it, I promise you that. Working on something I didn't think it would take long because I almost finished, but it takes longer than expected because I want sentences to make sense. No, that totally makes sense. I also feel like, you know, I get distracted by chat. So I can only imagine how distracted y'all can get by chat. And streams have been going good. I always love how absolutely chatty. I mean, I'm always very chatty. But I feel like It Gets Better streams always like amplify my chattiness by like times 10. So it's been going really good. Just been sort of tidying up my Stardew Perfection farm, and chatting about high school. I'm back at university. Tomorrow is my first day of my last year of university. And so I thought it'd be fun to sort of do a little throwback, talk about my high school journey, you know, coming out in high school, my queer experience in high school, and folks have been sharing a little bit about their, you know, high school journeys as well. But yeah, just been good, just been chill. Have I also been maybe playing GMO Kart, even though I told myself I wouldn't play GMO Kart because I would get too sweaty playing it? Maybe so. Maybe so, but don't even worry about it. Shh, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's fine, don't worry about it. And what am I studying? You're in your last year of uni too. I think I heard you took some time off after high school. Yes, I took 5 years off of high school before going back to uni. So I'm currently 27 years old. Finishing my last year of university. I also was planning on only taking 4 years to finish graduating. 4 years of graduating. But pandemic, so 5 years. I'm currently at an art school and I'm studying textile art and design. So a lot of screen printing, knitting, a bunch of stuff like that. A bunch of cool things. And I also, you know what, I will actually, Mark, that's funny that you say it. So like for my thesis year, like in art school, we like sort of work on one final big project. And my school does like a big like exhibition where like everyone's work is on display. So I will absolutely invite all of you cuties who are local to me to come and say hi and check out my thesis work because I will have worked an entire year on it. And I want human eyes to see it. So I will definitely I will definitely invite y'all to it so you can see my final work. But also, Mark, I don't know if you were in stream the other day. I was talking about also how one of my friends runs like a drag brunch at, if you've heard of Glad Day in the village in our city. And they were like, yeah, anytime you want to be a guest, let me know. Because I'm sure a lot of folks who watch your streams would want to come. I'm like, oh, absolutely. I know a handful of folks who would want to come to drag brunch. So that's also something I have planned in my brain. And, you know, because I'm going to TwitchCon, but if you're not seeing me at TwitchCon. Exactly. Yes. High school, just school in general journey, Zag. You are correct. That is what our chat has been. And you're 27 year last school. It's 27 year last year too. This makes me so happy. Not often I see people in, right? Okay. This is my other thing. Besties, if you are currently in high school, take your time. Do not feel like you have to finish high school and immediately pop into university. Do I have some FOMO that like I didn't go to a school and live in the residencies and make all these like university friends and yes, but if I didn't take a break from high school between university, I don't think I would have started doing drag really, or I wouldn't have started doing drag as much or as soon. And I think I would have not made some of the friends outside of university that I made. And also like going back to school as like a quote unquote mature student, I was also so much more equipped to deal with the stuff that university throws at you. I mean, I don't know if you had the same experience where you're like being older in school, like you're like, oh no, I have such better time management skills and such like, and I also have like a better external support system with my group of friends. Like, I'm not saying that university has been easy, but like it is like so much easier than I anticipated, just based on where I am with life right now. And Emmy, you actually did go to college right from high school and majored in something I didn't want to do, and it ended up failing out. LOL. Honestly, I would have failed out of university probably if I did go right away. Not saying everyone is like me, but I'm really glad I took years off since then, because I appreciate my schooling so much better. Exactly what you said. Feel so much more better equipped to deal with it. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Your brain is more developed, and you are time management. I think it also makes you, I do agree, it makes you appreciate school. Cherry, as a college student, do you wish I took longer? And that's the thing, I always get frustrated that people don't like offer a break as an option. Also, Mark, that's so cool that you used to live in the area where Glad Day is. That is so very cool. But yeah, no, I feel like you want to go. Like if you're going back to school, like I've taken time off of high school, you actively want to be in school. And so I feel like you approach everything so differently because you actively want to be there. I feel like you're also, at least for me, I'm more aware of how expensive school is. And so I feel I am much less likely to skip a class or not hand in an assignment because I'm like, honestly, for me at least, at the end of the day, the only person that loses, GG. The only person that loses out when I don't hand in an assignment and get feedback on that assignment is me. I don't, of course I flub it immediately. Like I don't get the benefit of having a prof tell me, you know, this is what was good, this is what you could improve upon. Like that for me, I've realized that, you know, the point isn't the good grades. It's the experience of being in university. It's the experience of learning. And I feel like I am much more, equipped to deal with and am ready for that learning. And I want to learn. I do well in school mostly. I do them, think the major I picked worked for me. I still struggle to find a job now though. I think though that's like the job market. I think that's absolutely the job market. It's like there are so many people who are master's degrees and they're struggling to find work. Like that is just the world. Went to college because I internally pressured myself. I didn't want to sit with the what do I do after graduating? Oh, bestie. I will say I am pushing off the what do I do after graduating university feeling. Oh, bye Nemo. Bye friends. I definitely pushed off that feeling. Oh, that's the wrong one. I want to get rid of Leo's cam because he's gone now. But yeah. Don't regret school, but it's harder to imagine being in it now. That totally makes sense. I think I was like scared of adults fresh out of high school too, so I was always too scared to talk to my professors. Now I really take advantage of asking questions. I mean, I feel like, yeah, no, I totally relate to this. Like, I feel like I love that I didn't realize that we both were the same age and finishing university at the same time. I am absolutely like, I think it's really fun kind of being a similar age to some of your professors because you can kind of like, I don't know, just chat with them a bit differently. But also for sure, I'm like, oh, I realize that, you know, the squeaky wheel is the first to get greased. And so if I have questions, problems, anything like that, I'm so much more willing to ask those questions to professors. You can absolutely talk to them more easily. A lot of you learning how to learn. Teaching yourself stuff isn't impossible, but it gives structure to it. Absolutely so true. No, university is definitely learning how to learn, learning how to, oh my gosh. Yeah, there's just so much that I've like, yeah, like, and I will say, I think I did get an advantage because working honestly, I know it sounds a bit like wild, but working in retail before going to university, I learned so much. And also doing drag before I went to university, like time management, project management, you know, all that stuff like that. Like there's so much life experience stuff that teaches you stuff that you also would learn but from the experience of university. And so I felt like I do have a bit of a leg up from the life experience that I got, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is, if you feel like you don't want to go to university, don't go to university. If you want to go to university, absolutely go to university. Go for something you're passionate about. And you're going to have a better time learning if you are excited to learn the thing. And I think the big thing is don't rush. You have your entire life to learn. I think societally it is very much like, okay, you high school, then you university, then you know, it's that like rapid fire, but like I am having such a great time with university because I really don't feel that pressure. And I have university students, I have people who are in my classes who are 60, 70, like they are much later in life at university because they are like, it's never too late to learn, right? Happy that I chose online school, especially not knowing what Queen would bring, but I do have FOMO. See my old classmates have. That is totally fair. I think it is truly also like kind of a little bit out of your control with COVID, because I have had 2 years of school completely online, which has definitely messed me up a little bit. Homework is bad, but self-directed homework is fun after school is over. True. I also feel like I am a little bit lucky. My being in art school, it is a bit more like kind of whatever, and you can kind of take things and run with them. And it's not as, I think it's also the perfect storm for me because although I do love academics, I think being in school so constantly made me fall out of love with academics. I think being back in school after taking so much time off of school made me fall kind of back in love with more academic subjects. Like I took this is gonna sound shocking. I took a science course and I enjoyed it. I was like, I had to take a science course and I was like, this one sounds interesting. I took a science course and I actively really liked it. It was wild. It was wild, but like so much fun. Because I was like, again, like ready to learn, and excited to learn. English classes, like reading. I feel like I've fallen back in love with reading again, which is kind of like wild. Am I still like a manga girly? Do I still love a good picture? Absolutely. But I definitely have fallen a little bit back in love with like reading and essays. Besties, I don't think I would have written a video essay, which I need to start working on another video essay because I had so much fun with the first one. It was a lot of work. But I don't think I would have done a video essay if I hadn't gone back to university, because I realized how much I love the process of writing an essay is so fun because it's basically just you forcing someone to listen to your opinion and you just saying why you're right. Hello? That's my favorite thing ever. I just get to be a bossy B word and tell someone why that my opinion is the right opinion. Like, kind of iconic. So anyways, I have a very complicated relationship with academia because when I was in high school, I very much was like, I love the performing arts, and I didn't really put any energy into any like academic subjects. And so I was very focused on sort of that as my path. But a switcheroo, not vice versa. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, I didn't expect to be where I am, but I'm very happy that I got here. And I'm very happy I took some time to sort of fall back in love with school. Because I'm like, oh, right, yeah, no, I'm a huge nerd and I fucking love school. I'm a huge, huge major nerd. I kind of forgot about that. But yes. But it is definitely very frustrating that like the way that society is structured very much sort of forces people to go about school in a certain way that might not be suited for them. Not this. Although I hear another Leo crying. He was yelling, so I'm gonna just go take care of him a second. Okay, come here. Stop yelling. I can hear you from a mile away. Such a little brat baby. Hey, come here, sit in my lap. I'm gonna put a blanket on my lap so you can sit in my lap. Come here. Come here. You're gonna sit in one spot and you're gonna like it. Okay, there we go. Oh. There you go, precious boy. There you go, precious, precious boy. Hi. The sun's beaming right down on you. You love the sunshine, don't you, my sweet friend? Are you gonna let me play a little bit more Junimo Kart while I pet you? No, not on the desk. Anything but the desk. Anything but the desk. Golden hour Leo. Exactly. I mean, Leo is always golden. Stay golden, Leo boy. Thank you. There you go. Aw, you're all comfy now, Mimo. Perfect. Now I can play my game and have you on my lap. It all works out, right? Also, I feel like I always, whenever I'm like super focused in Junimo Kart, that's when the silence begins. Ow! Don't scratch me like that. I'm petting you. Don't scratch me like that. Let me focus on my game a little bit. I'll pet you. But I'll also play my video game. Have I ever beat? Yes, I have. I have beat Junimo. I've beat Junimo Kart, and I've gotten the quests. I've finished the quest before for Mayor Lewis's endless score. I've actually beat Junimo Kart 2 times before. I beat Junimo Kart in 2 of my save files, in this save file and also in my my Joja save file, both times with progress mode. Oh no, I mean, I went through like a phase on stream, and folks in the chat who are part of my community could probably attest to this. I went through a phase where it's just like, oh no, my only goal in life right now is to get good at Junimo Kart. And I'm not like amazing, I'm kind of a little bit rusty, but like, sometimes I forget how good I am at it. I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? I'm not too bad. Like, not too shabby. I'm much better at, though, progress mode than I am at endless mode. Endless mode, I'm definitely not as practiced on. But honestly, like, I love Junimo Kart. I'm a Junimo Kart girly through and through. I went from hating Junimo Kart to being obsessed with Junimo Kart. I am truly a Junimo Kart girly. You can never take that away from me. Oh my god, also, I just remembered, I have like a fun, exciting thing that I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it yet. And Natalie, hello, friend, welcome in, it's good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a good day, my sweet pal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I have a fun thing, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet. So I'll wait. But there's a fun thing possibly happening for me. And Timber, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, friend. It's good to see you. Hello, hello, and happy Tuesday. I hope your Tuesday is going well. I hope you are happy and healthy. And I hope that your dog is doing well. I forget your dog's exact name, but I think it starts with an M. That's all I remember. But secret fun things. Maybe I'll tell you if I'm allowed to tell you. Switch died while villager hunting. Praying it has a cute auto. Oh, not this. Not this. Fingers crossed for you, my friend. Had like a week where I played. You gotta get back into it. You gotta get back into it. It's honestly the best thing ever. I love Junimo Kart with my entire heart. So, Michonne! Oh my god! Of course, of course, of course. I'm glad to hear your dog friend is doing good. And Cherry, I honestly, how could you forget my Junimo Kart phase? Truly, it was an obsession. Was it unhealthy? You know, to each their own. To each their own. But it was an obsession. I did fall in love with Junimo Kart just maybe a touch. Okay. Oh, did I not sell anything? I was like, why did that cutscene, why did that screen not happen? And I was like, oh, because I didn't sell anything. So it wouldn't do the thing. It would not do the thing. Yes, this is the perfection save. Junimo Kart is so fun. Honestly, so worth it. Also, Mimo, gotta get a better look at you. Thank you. It's too bright. The camera's having trouble with you. Besties. My time on the It Gets Better channel is done for the day, so I am going to wrap us up. I just want to say thank you all for being here. I had so much fun hanging out with you all today. It was an absolute treat. It was an absolute treasure. It was an absolute pleasure. I adore each and every single one of you. And I hope I get to see you again soon. We are going to head out and raid Juicebox. If you have not, if you don't know who Juicebox is, you're about to meet a lovely human being. Juicebox was on season 1 of Canada's Drag Race. A lovely, sweet angel, amazing human being. That is the raid message. Please be sure to copy and paste it if you are heading over with the raid. If you would like to find me, outside of this stream, out other places on the internet, you can find my Twitch channel. I play lots of Stardew Valley, lots of other stuff. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chopping into stream today, friends. I had so much fun. Mimo, do you want to say goodbye to everyone? Do you want to say bye to everyone? Do you want to say goodbye? Grumpy, sleepy boy. Say goodbye to everyone. Anyway, thank you all for being here today. I had so much fun. I adore you also very much. And if you are looking for me, I will be out there on the internet. I will be on the front page of Twitch on Friday. So if you are on Twitch on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the cosplay show that I'm part of is going to be on the front page. That's really cool. Anyways, I love you all very much, and I will see you all soon. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your time zone. Give Juice all of my love. I adore you all endlessly. Bye, besties. Bye, 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 bye. Goodbye, farewell, goodbye.